comfortable with it, and now she pressure cans. And she was 63 when we got married, you know? So she was scared all those years, and she said, oh, it was just that easy. Like, you know, the one thing about pressure canning is you want to just watch it. It's not something you can do and walk away. So like, I homeschool my kids. I'm a mom of 6, and I homeschool, and so when we're doing school at the kitchen table, I watch pressure. So they help me fill my bottles. That's one thing I'm an advocate. Involve your family. Absolutely. Whether it's kids or grandkids, because this will not pass on to the next generation at all if we don't teach them at least to be kind of familiar with it. My kids, so you'll notice, I'm kind of OCD, but now that I have children, I've had to let it go. So my peaches look like kids helped me, because they did, and they loved every second of it. In fact, they always are like, when are we canning? Like, they're all excited. Usually by the end, they're like, another thing, Mom, another thing. But, so there's things you pressure can and things you water bath. There's actually more water bath than pressure. Meats and non-acidic foods are what you pressure can. And it's the reason for pressure canning is to get the heat completely through your densest thing in your bottle. So if you do like a soup or anything like that, you've got to pressure can it so if you have stuff that you could water bath, but you also have meat in the bottle, you've got to pressure can it to cover your meat. Does that make sense?
I'm in a rebel canning group.
Yes. They scare me.
And I know, they're like, anything can be water bath. It just may take triple the amount of time.
And that is true.
Is it true?
But I will tell you, your water bathing, it has to be covered. And I water bath my tomatoes.
Making sure it stays covered, and a lot of them are saying that's the problem that they've had. If you've let the water get down, then you're in trouble.
Because tomatoes take 90 minutes to water bath, which I still do that because I can just put them out there and just refill it. And I do enough tomatoes that it's worth it to me. And I just put them on my cash cooker. Is how I do my tomatoes.
What's a cash cooker?
So it's like a camp stove that just gas propane.
That's what I use. I use my camp chef.
Yep, I put it out on my deck and I just turn them on and I watch them while I'm filling more bottles.
I don't use my pressure canner outside.
I don't
But
either.
for water bath, I do.
And
I'll can peaches and pears outside.
It takes
keeps
the
the house
heat.
up. Pressure cooking, you don't want to do that because that draft coming in on your pressure canner is dangerous.
Well, and
So
it fluctuates your heat more.
yeah, and also when you use a camp chef in your home or a gas stove, you need to have a window open for ventilation because that propane burning burns your oxygen.
Oh, a cash cooker?
Well,
Is that what you said?
I don't know, I use my camp chef.
A camp chef.
It's propane stove,
Yeah.
but you have to have a window open or crack to have the air come in because the propane will take the oxygen.
I don't
out
use
of
it in
there.
my house. I'll tell you
Oh,
that.
I do.
You do? I don't. I put it outside. Just
I
'cause
have
it
a
keeps
gas.
the heat.
My kitchen stove is gas, so you don't
Perfect.
mean that, do you?
Well,
No, it's honestly, it's just because your in-home gas stove is made to be in the home.
yeah.
These are made to be outdoors, so you have to create ventilation.
I've watched the Amish lady do it outside, so.
Yeah.
I watched those videos.
I'm just scared because I know that if those get drafted, they can blow up on you. So that's why I don't use my pressure cooker outside.
I took the master canning class through the University of Idaho. Plus, I'm a home economist by
Friend that took that.
trade, and we have to be really careful when you do that rebel canning because things change, the acidity's
Yeah.
changed, vinegar's changed. I mean, you buy vinegar and it's 4%, not 5.
Yeah.
That is one thing you want to, when you're canning with your vinegar, you want to check that it's 5%.
Right.
I'm just
acidity.
saying,
And that's not on this, because that actually has just started changing,
last year.
and I've taught these classes.
So when you're
Just
buying your vinegar, then, do, like the big Costco ones, are they 5?
They have been, that's where I
They have been.
But
You
you-
can look on the label, it'll say what percentage.
And it's pretty big, they have to make it pretty known what the percentage of acidity is.
So I'm just
So it's
saying,
easy to find on it.
it's scary and you're putting
Yes.
your life into your whole family's life into your hands.
Yep.
If you're, because,
I am really careful what recipes I use.
yeah,
Well, they should be USDA certified. Don't ever take a family recipe and do it. because they're tested for, like she said, they're tested for acidic and for that kind of stuff. Green chilies and tomatoes, you can get really, really sick off of.
You can.
Botulism is a real
It
thing.
is. So, and I actually add, where are my tomatoes?
Right there.
Are they right
Yeah, because
Oh, right here.
you should add lemon juice.
So
and
I
then-
add lemon juice
Yeah.
to these.
Or citric acid, yeah.
Yeah, I like the flavor of the lemon juice. Citric acid, I don't love.
Well, they say
Just
not to.
FYI.
I had a friend that was using real lemons and juice in them,
Uh-huh.
and they tell you not to do that because your acid in your real lemons vary
Very.
as well. So they said use the concentrate
I didn't
because
know
use
It's
the
always
concentrate.
easier for me, so I just buy them.
Well, but they say
I just-
use the concentrate because the concentrate is a steady acidic level, whereas when you juice
Because
your
they probably
lemons,
test it.
they're not so consistent with the acid level. Yeah.
We probably should let you do your presentation.
Yeah.
It's okay.
Because we all think we know a
You're
lot,
right,
but
Susie.
It's
you're-
okay. So this is a water bath canner. You just put the lid on. The key to water bath canning is you have to have them covered. So for when I'm doing, like we got bared, but that's fine because I do that. But you cover them. So when I'm doing tomatoes, I have to put more water in just to make sure they stay covered. I just add hot water so it keeps the temperature up. I don't add boiling because I don't want to be boiling while I'm canning fruit and veggies, but just so you know. Now, like your peaches and your pears, they are some of the easiest things to can you'll ever can. Not a lot of people think that about pears because of the skinning process. But I will tell you, I blanch mine. A lot of people don't believe in that, but I blanch mine just like you would your peaches. You have to be careful how long you blanch them. Because if you blanch them too long, they're more likely to turn brown in the bottle or before you get them in the bottle, okay? So I kind of test my water when I do one pear, make sure it's hot enough, and then I kind of count because my kids do it. So I count and I go, okay, I count to 10 and then I test the skin. I'm like, okay, kids, count to 10, pull them out. And then we put them in cold water. And then as soon as I have it peeled, I put it in lemon juice water or Fruit Fresh. You can buy Fruit Fresh at the store, but you can
I
do
haven't been
either.
able to find Fruit Fresh.
It's harder. That's why I've used lemon juice if I can't find it.
Yeah.
So I usually buy it when it's not canning season.
You can't even get it on Amazon. They don't even offer it anymore. There's no Fruit Fresh
Really?
at all.
I can get it at Walmart. And
And I have, but
Ranch.
they sell out pretty fast.
So I buy it when it's not season. So I buy it like right now, and then not everyone's buying it at the same time.
Yeah.
So there's that.
Oh, that makes sense.
So there's different, this is a pressure canner, and this is a pressure canner. Do you have any questions that make you nervous about the pressure canning?
Well,
We'll
it
do that right
doesn't
now.
have the little dial.
Uh-huh.
Like the one I don't think it has a dial on it.
It has the weighted one. Those scare me just because I haven't used them. But they say you set it to the weight, and then you do the time, and you just make sure that's wobbling the whole time. But it just scares me just because I'm not familiar with
Yeah.
it. But I have another friend who uses hers. That's all she has. But I do a lot of pressure canning because I can our deer meat that we harvest. I do chicken, so when I find a good sell on chicken, if I don't have freezer space, I can it because I can just pull it out and have soup. I don't love the flavor of canned chicken as much as I love fresh from the freezer cooked. So I do not can all of mine, but it's so easy. I can add mayo and pickles, and we can have a sandwich for lunch. And it's a little fancier than just peanut butter or whatever. So I love canning chicken when I find a sale. So that's how I afford to feed my family and be able to stay home right now, is I just watch sales and I freeze it or I can it. So that's kind of how I do it. You can do it with the bone in. So this one is with the bone in, and see how the liquid is really congealed?
Chilled.
It's
That's
because of the
probably
bone.
Mhm.
It's from the bone, and it makes wonderful broth. Now, if you have bone, like if you're taking a bunch of chicken off the bone and you boil it and make a broth, you can bottle that. But you want to
And that's
pressure
your bone broth.
bone broth. But you want to pressure that. And it will tell you, so these are the books, you can tell I use mine, but these are the books I suggest getting. Just because they tell you step by step on things, on how to do them. but there's tons of recipes and things out there that aren't in here
Well,
that are
those are the
safe.
USDA tested recipes.
Yes, but there are ones out there that are safe, that are not in here, but these are your go-to recipes.
Yeah.
When you do chicken
Uh-huh.
and like specifically chicken breast, how do you keep them from getting too dry? 'Cause I did it and I felt like they were too dry.
They're pretty dry because you have to do them so long. So I think they're dry, but chicken breast in general is more dry.
So put some dark meat with them.
Yeah, if you put dark meat in with them, I just usually have chicken breast because that's the case I bought, you know, on sale or whatever. But I got legs and thighs for 39 cents a pound a while ago. So I bought 4 cases and they ended up being really fat. There's only 3 legs in here.
Wow.
And so I just stuffed my bottles and I bottled away and it's divine.
And you
just
don't
have to-
add water, it just does its own juice. right?
For once the bone in, you have to add water just because you don't squish it down.
Okay.
But this is just meat.
Juice.
This is just the
Wow.
meat juice. So you just pack it in there, the juice, and then as they cook, they just have.
You don't add water to the chicken when you cook it?
Mhm.
Yeah.
That's all its own. I just stuffed and put salt in it,
It was
Wow.
just raw. Put it in.
raw. And I chop mine.
Stuff
You
it
can
in.
put it in whole, because with the pressure canning, it will heat through. But I cube mine because then I don't have to do it later. So I just cube it, stuff my bottles, and put it in. It does stick. Can you tell? It's like a big blob right in the middle of that.
Well, it's a glob when you get canned from the
Yeah.
store too.
So it's the same. You just have to break it up.
So when you can the chicken legs, you just skin them and put 'em
I
in-
just stuck the whole thing in there.
skin and all.
I just made sure they were, clean, no feathers, because sometimes they still have little things
Yeah.
on them.
What happened if there's a feather in there?
You just pull it out. But I'm a farm kid, so if it ends up in there, I just pull it out. I know you still use the thing.
Right, right.
It's sanitized, right? It's
Yeah,
kept all the
yeah.
germs out of it. But I am pretty careful what goes in.
for 90 minutes, it should
Yeah.
be.
So I am pretty careful though, because I butchered a lot of chickens in my life.
I have chickens now and I can't put them down.
Oh, it's hard when they're your
I
pets.
need someone to help me and volunteer for one.
You're a tough one.
I am total wimp.
And then these, so carrots, one year we had a plethora of carrots. So I bottled a bunch of carrots.
And
for
carrots are longer, right? They take longer?
They do. You have to take, I can't remember exactly how long they are. But they do take longer and you have to pressure can them. One of my favorite meals of my whole life is mustard
Aren't they like
greens.
40 minutes?
I think they're 40.
40 minutes,
They're-
I think.
Let me look here. That's the nice thing is I can go in here if I'm making a soup to can, and you can go, okay, I've got carrots and I have peppers and I whatever meat, and I do the longest time.
Right.
So if my meat is the longest time, then I do the meat. If I don't have meat in it, then I look at my vegetables that are in it and I do the longest.
So like a vegetable soup.
Like, or if you have barley, if you add barley to it or something, you have to do the barley in here. Does that make sense?
Barley's long, huh?
It's longer, like you don't water bath it.
'Cause it's
Yeah.
fresher.
So that's what you want to do if you're like if someone gives you a recipe and like we swear by this, just double check the times on that.
Yeah,
And
I
it
think
can-
it's 40 minutes for the quart,
I wonder what about barley's like?
and like 30 minutes for the
Certain
pint.
Yeah, and it will tell you in here. But I would be very, very careful. Why it says on there. I'd be very careful rebel canning. I have to admit. I'm
Facebook scares me because there's a lot of people on their recipes they scare me
yeah.
on Facebook, and I'm thinking, oh.
And I mean, if my grandma used to do it, and we've done it for 100 years, I will still do it, but I won't share the recipe, just because I feel like it's.
Yeah.
So is Rebel Canning actually a group or a movement or something?
It's
It
a
is.
movement, and
It
it has
is.
a couple of groups for it, yeah.
On Facebook. They did, and it's just they don't follow the rules. But I had a friend who canned tomatoes once and was new to canning. And she's older. I think they've both passed away now, but it was beginning. But someone stuck their finger in and tasted them before they heated them up or whatever. and she hadn't followed rules, and they were in the hospital for like 3 months, barely
Oh
lived.
my word.
Oh, yeah, it's
Like,
no
it's because
joke.
it's a real thing.
Yes, it's no
Botulism.
joke.
So you want to follow rules, but I wouldn't let it scare you. Like my father was like, you can't just dump that stuff in there and not heat it up. And I said, yes, I can, because I canned it per rules. So I know that I canned it. I don't have to boil
Well,
it.
and there's some
Does
people
that
that
make
think
sense?
that they can take their canned goods and just heat them up in the microwave, but when they tell you to heat it up for 10 minutes on the stove,
Mhm.
boil it for 10 minutes before you use it.
But that's that's with Rebel Canning. You don't have to if you follow the rules.
Why not follow rules, you know?
Yeah, it's just not worth it to me.
It's not worth it.
It's dangerous.
Yeah.
It's
So I'm
dangerous.
just telling you that, do what you want with it, but that's the experience that I've heard.
Yeah.
It's just, to me, it's just not worth it. I love my family too much to change
Absolutely.
it, you know?
And in Pocatello, would you need the high altitude adjustment?
Yes, and I put on here, it's in the book too, but if you don't have the book and you want a can, it's on here how you adjust it. So like my friends that ask me for my recipes, I can tell them and say, what's your altitude, this is how you do it. If they don't live here. Okay, so,
And the asterisk one is Pocatello, right? That's why you asked.
Yeah,
Yes.
it's about 5,000 square
yeah,
feet.
so that's where we're at. So
ours
13
is about
pounds.
10, ours is it say 13?
Yes, 13. You see it's, the base is 10.
Yeah.
Everywhere's 10, but you go
That's
up
sea level.
per
10.
year. But I will tell you, so you want to watch, if it goes below the 13 pounds, you start your time over. You don't just get it back to 13 pounds and then keep your time going. Does that make sense?
Mm.
You start your time over. So if you're an hour in and you dip below 13 pounds, you go back and you do a whole nother hour plus to be safe.
And that's to be safe, yeah.
Mhm. So, and I've done that. So actually what I do is I write it right at 15. I just keep it at 15 and I try to not have it, you don't want it way high above 15. But then if it dips a tiny bit, I'm not below the 13.
Mhm.
So I just kind of write it at 15 and I kind of give myself a little playroom, I guess, to still be safe. Because I do enough. I have 5 pressure counters and I put 2 on and I work on fill bottles and then I take them off and I put 2 more on while they cool down.
That's amazing.
So I do enough canning that it's worth it to me to have that.
Absolutely.
But, okay, any other questions? You can use your pressure counters to water bath. You just don't put your lid on, you put something else over them. It's just a pan. You just need a pan.
Oh.
But I wouldn't put your pressure counter lid on it just because they.
I did one time, I just rested it on it, because it really was doing the same thing.
Yeah. So you can do that, just so you know. It doesn't have to be a water bath canner to do
I
that.
just don't wanna lock it down.
Yeah, just don't lock it down. The one thing though is it's harder for me on these shorter ones. I feel like they hold my pressure more
Yeah.
consistently, so I love these.
I've had better luck with that one than the double one.
But the water bathing in these, it's hard to keep the water above because they're not as deep. Just so you kind of know on that.
Just make sure you have a barrier between the bottom of your pan and your bottle.
And if you're just getting started, you need bottles, right? People sell them all the time. Once COVID hit and it became more popular to can, people sell their used bottles like they're gold.
Yeah.
So watch that. Sometimes you can buy brand new bottles for cheaper and they come with the ring and the lid. So really watch that, because used is not always better. I use a lot of used, but it is not always better because of that.
And check for nicks.
Yep, and check your rims. I actually brought one. So on your edge of your bottles, it's essential that you clean it. Even if it looks like there's just water, like if I'm canning peaches, even sugar water can cause my bottle to not seal. So I just take a wet rag, and I even have my kids do it. I get it wet. People say you have to use vinegar. I don't. I just use a wet rag.
Yeah.
But some canners are, a little anal about it. You just wipe your bottle, make sure it's completely clean, and put your lid on it. But you don't, if there's a nick, it will not seal.
Mhm.
So if you have a nick, I just throw it away. Because
Not worth it.
it's just not worth having, because you do an hour and a half of water
All that
or
work, yeah.
pressure canning and it doesn't seal, which you can still eat it, but you have to eat it, you can't put it on the shelf. So there's that. There's a couple different sills you can use, and I'm not gonna promote them, but I want you to know about them, because not everyone knows you can buy reusable lids. I love them, but they are not as convenient, and they are a little bit more money to start out with. So it's just a plastic top, and you've got a little gasket, and it goes on it, and then you put it on your bottle, and then you tighten it on, and you just do finger tight. So when you're doing it, then as soon as they come out, you cinch it down, and then you just let it cool like a normal bottle.
And it doesn't melt the plastic?
Mm-mm. And there's people who have used them for 40 years and never had to replace their lids.
You can pressure can too.
Pressure everything with them. So, and I only had, because I don't have as many as I would like of these, but, so I only had one to show and bring you. The only thing that's not convenient is, you know, when you're canning and you're done, I can go like this and be like, okay, did they seal? I can't with these. So I have to take the ring off and I have to physically go, did it seal? So they're not like fast when you're doing hundreds of bottles. I can't
So
just
when you
do
use
like
those, you just buy the seal?
that. Just the seal and the plastic, yep. Just these two
But
pieces.
you can reuse the plastic, but not the seal.
No, you can.
You can reuse
Yep.
the seal.
Yep, and you just wash them. I put them in the dishwasher, in soap water.
My word.
You reuse and reuse, and if like it gets eaten, you can buy replacements, but you can just keep using these.
Oh, I didn't know that. I didn't understand how to use those, so I've never bought them.
Yeah, and so I've heard that Harvest has them, but I've never used those. I use Tabler just because those are the ones I learned about, and I have a bunch, and I buy them in bulk, so I can just buy like 200 at a time, and so I just kind of add some every year,
Wow.
so that I hopefully eventually will
I
have.
was gonna say, will you eventually
Everything.
be able to do all of it?
I hope.
Now.
Is it more expensive or less expensive than the?
In the initial, it's more expensive, but any more lids are so expensive to buy that it's scary to, like, it's sometimes not cheaper to can. Cause I'm not one who reuses the lids, so,
I don't do a lot of canning, so
yeah,
not being, don't wanna say too much here,
no, do,
but I do have some of those lids just because I figure there could easily be a point when you can't get lids and
Yeah.
you better have some reusables.
yeah. And so I really like them, so I just buy about 200 a year. Cause I mean, my kids will take them outside with their bug jars. And, you know, when I go out and I'm like, why is this outside?
So do you have that, do you buy them
You know.
offline?
And just on Tattler.com. They sell them on Amazon, but they're more money.
Tattler.
Tattler, yep, Tattler. So, but there are other places I've heard, those are just the ones I know of. So,
And they do come in wide mouth as well.
wide and narrow, yep. And then I buy all my lids in bulk anymore because it's just so expensive to buy
Oh,
them.
yeah.
So I go online and buy them. But, and I usually have to buy lids every year because I can't afford to do as many of those. But I'm building up. I like to do my tomatoes because they're more acidic. And so if because I do not can everything I will use in a year. I do like a ton of salsa that last year, but I won't can salsa this year. I'll do it next year. So I'm not doing everything every year. So this looks really impressive, but I don't do this every year. Like I do,
You have alternating years.
yep, I usually do peaches and pears every year, beans every year. But I don't do everything every year. Like I make my zucchini relish every other year, sometimes every 3 years. My $1 million pickles is what I call bread and butter pickles. And I only do those like every 3 years because we don't use a ton of them. And if I have a ton of pickling cubes, I use them and make those. Choke cherries, if they're high one year, I do a ton of choke cherry syrup when we do that. If we get a lot of rhubarb, I make rhubarb syrup and I put that in there. It's divine. Don't ever let it boil over. Yep, I've done that. Well, maybe I haven't. No, I'm just kidding. It was a mess. I turned around to help a kid in another room and I came in and I was like, oh, and it's really sticky. I do mustard greens. You have to pressure can those, but they're one of my favorite
And
meals.
what is that?
It's mustard greens. So
Oh,
it's a
wow.
southern collard green, but you can grow it here. Great.
I was sitting there wondering what that was.
So, and I personally love those. Salsas, I don't know. What questions do you have for me? Trying to think of what,
The green beans have to be pressured.
they do,
Yes,
and
they
it's
do.
the acidity in them. But they're not very long. Like,
Yeah, they're only like about 40 minutes too, I think, for the quart.
yeah, maybe even 30.
Might be.
But
They're only, yeah, they're.
I have
they
to
don't-
look it up every year.
They don't take long.
I have to go, how long was that again?
Well, yeah, with as many things as you do, it would be remarkable if your memory was that good.
Well, like with my tomatoes, when I was living in Pueblo, Colorado, I would go to the county extension office and get the update on the county of tomatoes.
Where's the county extension office?
Up at-
It's on
It's
the
up the
fairgrounds.
Up at fairgrounds.
And that's another thing.
Are there like hours or, I mean,
It's 8 to
is it
5.
open all the time or?
Normal hours, I think.
8 to 5 Monday through Friday, I think.
And they usually have ball canning books
Yeah,
for
they do.
sale.
They have those books up for sale, yeah.
They have these for sale, but Cal Ranch does too. Fred Meyer's and Walmart do during the season.
Okay.
That's where I take my pressure canner every year to have it tested.
And that's what I was just gonna say, you
Yeah.
want to test it.
Yeah,
Because
you
sometimes
wanna-
they can get bumped. And so I take it, they charge you $3. It's not even,
And
but
that's
there's
what
not
you
always
know.
someone there. So that part you can call if you wanna just get it tested and leave. Call them, make sure someone's there. But if not, you can leave it and they call you and say it's done and you go pick it up.
And that's even after you buy a new pressure gauge. When
Yes,
they put a new pressure gauge on, you wanna make
Test it.
sure that it's, because if it's off a little bit, then you can adjust. But usually
So
they'll
those-
test you, let you know.
mine are all off a little bit. Like they'll say you're
Yeah.
50, when it's 15 pounds, it's 13 pounds.
Yeah,
So I just have to go up to 17 pounds.
And you can't fix that?
You can buy a new one.
Just buying them.
Once
Yeah.
it's actually not too bad. Cause I honestly never I've only replaced like 2. Unless it's a brand new one I've gotten. I have bought all my pressure counters at yard sales or DI. I just kind of watch. But some people think they're gold too, which they are. They're priceless if you use them. But like some people, you're at a yard sale that they've used their pressure counter for years and they're $120.
that's an old pressure canner.
Yeah, I'm like,
I
I could
bought
go
mine
buy that,
first.
you know?
I got
So-
mine first just like that from an 84-year-old woman.
Yeah,
And I've been using it for close to 50 years and it's still going.
yeah, they're,
You just replace the petcock, replace the gauge, and you replace the seal.
and there's
Every once in a while.
there's a seal inside, and some people swear that you have to take that out every season and put it in a bag so it doesn't dry. I don't.
Well, I think it's dry and it's pulling and it's sagging, you want to replace it.
You want a new one, but mine I've replaced them maybe twice, and I don't baby them.
Yeah,
So I'm just saying,
Right.
people that are like, you have to
That
put it
was
in a
old.
bag, you have to.
You don't have to condition them or anything?
No. I have before pulled it out, and this one right now isn't fitting exactly right, so I'll show you what I do. So I'm going, I just go like this,
that's what I do.
and then I put it back in.
Give it a little exercise.
You,
And
I,
you'll
that's
know
what
if it
I do
works.
that. It does, it stretches out.
You'll
but-
know if it works, because it won't seal and get a pressure
Yeah.
if it's not working. Just so you know,
Right.
you will know if it's not working and doing its job, because it won't,
Yeah,
it
'cause
won't
that's
get
what
up
I
to
do.
pressure. So you had a question.
When you get it tested, you just take the lid?
Yep, just the lid. You
Yeah.
don't have to take the whole thing.
They have a machine
Yep.
with a needle on it, they just put it on, and then they got different temperatures that they press it at, or test it at, and then they show at each level where it's at.
And then they give you a little
So-
sheet of paper so you don't
Yeah.
have to remember.
So then you can adjust, like if you're off 2 pounds, then you can adjust your gauge to that. So you don't have to replace it just
I don't know
because
how
you're
long
off
it
2
takes.
pounds. After a certain point, you probably should, but
Where do you get the parts for the pressure canners?
Tucker's here in town has them.
Okay.
Ace Hardware also sells.
Oh,
that
do they?
stuff. Ace
Okay.
Hardware also.
I've always gone to Tucker's, but
Because
that's
I
good
had
to know.
bought my pressure gauge from
Tucker's.
Ace Hardware.
Tucker's Appliance.
Yeah.
And they'll order it in if they don't have it. But I've honestly gone and they've always had it.
I never thought of that.
Julie, you have a question?
Cal Ranch might have too.
When I had my lid tested at the extension office, they told me I needed a new seal.
Yeah,
So
they'll tell you that too.
Yeah. Yeah,
Changing
yeah.
subjects. When,
No, good.
when you do your dill pickles, are they crispy?
So there's a few tricks to
You
that.
have tricks?
Mine are not as crispy as this one. They do have a mix
No, mine is.
you can buy, and I'm trying to remember what it's called. My mom uses it. And hers are a little crispier than mine. This is your key. Do you want to know the tricks? You put them in the fridge. So I wash all my pickles and I put them in the fridge. And sometimes then I have a couple days worth so I can just knock them out. put them in the fridge. Make your brine, get your garlic in, okay? Get your brine all boiled on the stove, put your garlic, everything in your bottle. So you put dill seeds or dill weed. I personally love the dill seeds just because I can get them and have them stored. Easier and not as bulky. But you can do either, it tastes the same. And then you put all of that in, then you stuff your bottles with your pickles. While they're cold, pour your brine on, and then cook
The
them.
brine is heated up.
Yep, the brine's hot. Then you water bath them, because then you're not cooking the pickle or the cucumber all the way through,
Okay,
and that will help with soggy pickles.
okay. I was just wondering.
So they are still soft. We can even open these, and
So
you can test
cooking
them.
them not all the way through is okay.
Yes, because they've got vinegar. They're soaked in vinegar. So these ones are safe, because I mean, you're still heating them up, but you're not cooking them. You're heating them up, but you're not cooking them.
Yeah.
But you've got vinegar, so the brine is actually doing the preserving more than the sill.
You really, you want,
Yeah.
okay.
You can. Yep, and then you guys can tell. Now, mind you, these are not as crisp as some of mine because my sweet helpers take longer to stuff the chocolate. And that's their favorite job, is to stuff the bottles. And we can even just set them over there with the. So I brought some of my salsa so you can taste it, because not all's equal. I've tasted candy before, then I'm like, ooh, that wasn't very good. You know, and so it's not something I want to go make 100 bottles of, because we're just not going to eat it.
Yeah.
But it might be another family's favorite thing. Just like mustard greens, my husband hates them, but he gets to eat them because they're my favorite, and I'm not giving up everything I
How
love.
do you use them? How do you use them?
So what I do is I cook beans and rice and mustard greens. It's a southern dish. My grandpa's from Texas, the southern part of Texas, and so he brought it to the family, and then we've just all, so beans, rice, and mustard greens, and with a little butter on it, it's just heaven.
Have you ever canned soups?
I personally don't. You can can them, and they're so convenient to just dump out. I don't, because if I can my tomatoes, I can add them to anything.
Yeah, that's what I do.
But if I have soup, I can't add them to anything. So I can do all my individuals and then just dump them in. So for me, it's easier, just because I usually have everything canned anyway, and I can just,
And you have
Dump it.
8 people.
yeah, and I have 8 people. But I mean, it would be nice sometimes. I'm like, oh, I wish I had the soup just combined, and all
Well,
we
we
had to
just
do
have
is
it too,
microwave
but
it.
it's kind of interesting to do.
But I have friends that do a barley tomato soup that is divine, that they can just dump, you know. So it is convenient. Just for me, it's not, so I don't have any recipes that I can say, this is the recipe to use. But I know people, you don't want to can noodles. There's people that do, but
It'd be mushy, wouldn't it?
yes, but safety-wise, you're not supposed to. Squash, you can if it's cubed. You cannot can pureed squash.
So when you're talking about squash, you mean like an orange type squash?
Yeah, like pumpkin. My sweet mother-in-law, she was like, oh, that's not right. You can just can them. I was like, honey, we're not eating anything pumpkin at her house for a while.
Right.
But all of her bottles unsealed within a month that she had bottled of pumpkin because they had soured. Because it's not safe.
I
Okay.
wonder why, what's in it that's making that?
I think it's so dense.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that's the problem.
It's so dense, and the acidity is really low.
So it can't get through
So
it.
it can't get through it, plus you don't have the acidity. So that's one thing I just wouldn't touch
Not
that.
even pressure.
No, you can pressure it cubed, but not pureed.
Now, so when it's cubed, is there a liquid going in with it then?
Water. Yep. I personally haven't done it because it doesn't use very much squash in the bottle. So I just puree on mine and freeze it. Because we use a lot of pumpkin. So I just cook it all down, puree it, and freeze it. And the
Does anyone freeze dry it? Is there such a thing?
freeze drying is amazing, but I don't have
Freeze
one.
drying. Freeze drying is amazing.
Yeah, because
Well, I want one real bad, but I want a blue alpine.
So they
I
have,
want the one from Ashton. I want the blue alpine. I don't have enough money to get that one.
oh, I was like, do it. But so if you take pumpkin and you puree it and you freeze dry it, it takes up about 1/4 to 1/8 the space as it would.
And then you can just put it in a jar and.
Yep. or a Mylar
Doesn't
bag
even
or
have
a
to be
bucket.
sealed, yeah.
Yeah, so, if you have a freeze dryer, and then you have access to water, that's one thing I worry about having all my stuff freeze dried, is if we're ever in a serious drought.
Right, so, I've
Yeah.
seen people
You
canning
gotta
water.
put a
too,
lot
though.
of water away if you have a lot of freeze dried
Yeah,
stuff.
so just, think about that when you're freeze
If you're
drying.
canning water, I know I saw this show where they were canning water, I'm like,
Do you know what though?
and where would I store it? I
I'm
was thinking,
telling you
oh
what
my,
though, if you got empty jars,
It's a
you're
good way
better
to
off
do
to
it.
have those empty jars with water
With
in
water
it
in it,
sealed than not.
And
So,
that is, my
Yeah.
thing with, cause my friends like, do this, but if I do that, I have to leave them, cause my empty jars are outside, they're not on my shelf. Because I don't have enough space to put out what I can,
right.
but I use more than I can put out. So I
Yeah.
save my peach boxes and my pear boxes, and I put, if it's 15 bottles, perfect. And I can stack them, and I just label them, and then I'm like, oh, I'm out of tomatoes on the shelf, I go get them, and I put them on the
Yeah.
shelf. So,
but that's what I do, I can my
You
water
can-
in my empty jars.
and you technically don't even have to can them, you can fill them up and.
What about, my daughter-in-law Erin gave us one of those little canning lids that goes shh, and then seals them
It
like
takes the
that.
oxygen out.
The
But
vacuum.
would that be okay to can water that way?
Yeah. I mean, really, you don't even have to do anything to water. You can just put it in the bottle.
Okay, that was my next question.
Yeah.
Well, I
Buy
use,
some purification tab.
I don't really seal
Oh,
them.
Julie
but
has a comment.
I just
Sometimes
take
I
my
have
bottles
some
out of the
like-
dishwasher and fill them with boiling water and put the lid on and they.
And it seals.
Yeah.
That's a
And
good.
the
I
bottles are
usually use some of
sanitized.
my
You mean
lids.
just while they're hot, you mean?
And the boiling water, and she puts one, then that would kill any bacteria that, I mean, you probably don't have any bacteria that will kill you in the water, but it wouldn't taste good,
Yeah.
Yeah.
you know?
Chlorine,
So, yeah.
That's a good idea, just right as you come out.
How about water purification tablets? Just have some
Yeah.
in your stuff.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Or a water filter system.
Yeah.
I put mine in my empty vinegar bottles, those big jugs.
Oh, that's a really good
I put
idea.
water in those to store, cause they don't leak
Oh.
like the
And they're thick,
milk bottles and
Yeah, the
stuff.
milk bottles leak,
That's what I
yeah.
do,
that's a really good
and
idea.
that way I don't have to sell them or anything, I just.
Yep.
And then I have a friend that would do the empty bleach bottles, fill them
Oh,
up with
yep.
water.
And that would work too.
So I tried storing some gallons of
If you
water,
rinse them out.
And I just have to.
and it was
write down
gone when I went to
water.
check it.
Yeah.
Well, it's nice to have.
Bring it
It's
out.
nice to have because there are times the water shut off and you're sitting there like, "Harp, I got this thing going."
But not for long-term storage,
Well,
cause
yeah.
it seeps through the
The which
plastic.
ones?
Yeah,
But
you
the
gotta-
vinegar, but like you're saying, those are much thicker than.
Which bottle was it they said not to put the water in? Was it 2 liters or there's a plastic bottle they tell you not to store water
Yeah,
in.
don't do it in pop bottles,
Is it the
those
pop bottles?
Oh, the
pop
pop
bottles
bottles
and the
too?
juice bottles, those.
Well, they
big-
say there's one that they say not to store it in
'Cause
because
of the
it takes
plastic?
the chemicals out.
It probably sucks the
But I
micro
couldn't
particles,
remember which one it was.
microplastic.
There's honestly probably not a lot of plastic that doesn't, if we're completely honest.
Yeah,
Well,
I
that's
mean-
why I fill up my candy
But
jars.
water with a little plastic in it is better than no water,
Yeah,
in my opinion.
yeah.
exactly.
Because I,
Well, like she said, the water tablets are nice to have too.
and I'll preach a little bit here. We do not store enough food as a society
Uh-huh.
for what is gonna come. And I'm not a fearmonger, I'm not trying to do that. But there will be a time, it says in scripture, that we will not have food. And the prophets have told us for years to preserve food, put food away. Because even just a natural disaster, if places that have something come through and they don't have food because the stores clean out in a day.
Well, look
Yeah,
at
they
the
do.
prices of food today compared to 10, 20 years ago.
Just said COVID.
Well, and my husband lost his job 4 years ago, and I didn't stress because I had shelves of food. I knew my kids were gonna be fed. Like I honestly felt I'm more peace after he was fired than when he was working at the place he was working at. But my kids were gonna be fed. It may not have been fancy, but it was
But you
good
know,
food.
we have to have faith there because if we're trying our best
Yep.
to do it, the Lord will take care of you. And I can tell you right now, I've experienced it.
Yep.
I've experienced it where you wonder if you're gonna come out. But if you're trying your hardest and you're sincerely doing it to put your food storage away, Heavenly Father will bless you. I can promise you he will.
And he knows your heart, he knows your
Yes.
finances, he
He
knows,
will.
he knows.
But
And
you
I'm
have
not
to
trying to
try.
be a fearmonger
Yeah.
about that, but we've been told that it is for job loss, for health and being out of work. I mean, it's more than just, we're gonna have a famine someday.
Right.
Like, there's reasons to have food storage.
But you have to try. I mean, you can't just
So-
expect Heavenly Father to take care of us
And-
without any effort.
And you don't have to bottle to get food storage. I'll tell you that right now. You can buy it at the store and put it on your shelf. Just buy extra. You know?
Yeah.
So
Right there.
it's, yep, and this is a good resource right next door,
Oh, exactly.
you know, to buy your wheat and anything like that. So that's just, I really testify that we've been asked.
I have
to
never
put
thought
food
of it
away.
here, but I'm glad to hear you say that, because I've been wondering, because I'm really low on wheat right now,
Yeah.
and I've wondered, where do you go?
This is the place to buy it.
The hours are right up there on the board.
Do you have a
Tuesdays
list
and
of the
Thursdays.
prices of what they have?
Yeah.
They do online, I think, don't
They
they?
have a list.
They
She
don't
has a
have,
list.
they don't
You
have
can
near
check
the,
out too.
the availability of a lot of stuff that we used to get.
Yeah.
Like we
But
used
it's-
to have.
There's
but
a
it's-
pretty long list.
But it's a good resource. It's really a good resource.
And it's your basics. That's
Yes.
the thing, is if you can get even just your basics.
And it's top quality stuff too.
Yep.
I mean, it's really top quality.
And a suggestion I have is to, if you have your basics and you have some spices, you can make things taste really good. If you have your basics and spices. So you don't have to have fancy. I would just work at it and encourage your neighbors to work at it. It doesn't have to be you go spend $2,000 to get your food storage for a year that day. You know what I mean? Work at it little by little. When you go to the store, buy 2 extra cans of corn. That's one thing you can, but I don't, because the bottle washing of canned corn is horrific.
I'd rather have free.
Right.
What do you mean the
You
bottle?
have, you have to scrub
Oh,
them.
it
because
is
the-
awful.
To
The
get it off
starch.
afterwards, you mean, or before?
Oh, no, that
After
that
it's in the
stuff
bottle.
bakes on your jars and it's really bad to
Okay,
clean
that's
off.
So on the inside, the starch just kind of cooks to the side. And
Yeah.
it is just, I'm like, it's not worth it. I'll throw the can away. It's not as healthy, but that's what I don't get. I'll freeze it all day long, but I won't get it.
Yeah,
So
it's awful.
that's my suggestion. And then another thing, when you boil your bottles, they come out with water, residue on the outside, hard water and stuff. If you put a couple tablespoons of vinegar just in your water bath or your pressure canner, your bottles don't come out with that as much. I mean,
Yeah,
you're
with
still
that
gonna have to
hard-
wash them,
The hard water.
but they're a lot cleaner, that you don't have to like rub the water off. You can just rub some soapy water and I don't store mine with rings, as you can notice that, because if they come unsealed, they can reseal with the ring on. And I just know this way,
Right.
if it's unsealed, it's
The rings
unsealed.
off, yeah.
So I just, and I don't have enough rings, because I bought my bottles used, or a lot of people have given, they've quit canning, they're like, I know you can, will you use these? So I have a lot more bottles than I have rings. And
Where do you store your rings? I've seen.
I'll tell you,
Hang them and all that
Oh,
kind
I've
of
got boxes and boxes and boxes of rings.
you wanna know, buy, or if you have them, the wire hangers. Okay, I should have brought one.
I think that's.
You
what I've
undo
seen.
the top,
Oh,
and you
yeah.
bend the one side over. So here's your visual. You've got the hook part, and then the other part I bend, and it just kind of goes around the hook. Okay, so it's like this, and this is your hook.
Yeah.
And then you just kind of go like that, and it just keeps it.
I
They
never
don't fall
thought
off.
about that.
And so I do narrow mouth on the hanger, and I do wide mouth on the hanger. And then they can be stored anywhere. They can hang from my shelf in the storage room, or I can put them out in the shed. And they're contained. And if moisture gets on them, they usually dry. Because I've had that issue in a box. Moisture gets on them and then they rust. They still work. They just don't look pretty. I have a lot of those, I will tell you right now. But they still work fine. They're just not pretty. So,
Oh,
the-
I never thought about
that.
That's a good idea.
I'm trying to think. Here's the grape juice that you can do if you don't have a juicer. So if you don't have a steam juicer, you wash your grapes, you fill it about this full with your grapes, fill with water, put some sugar if you want sugar, you can do them without sugar.
Let's swim with those ones.
And then you water bath them. They have to sit on the shelf for 3 months to get a really good flavor. And then when you drink your juice, you just dump them in a colander.
And
you have
then you
grape.
let my chickens eat the grapes.
Yep.
Okay.
Or you can squish, my kids like to eat them.
Do they?
Yeah, I don't love it just because they're just a gushy, but my kids
It's a
love them.
bushy.
But they taste good. They're just the texture isn't.
Oh.
I know,
But-
I'm a texture person.
Yeah. So that's a good way if you don't have a juicer and can't invest in one right now. That's a good way. Tomatoes, if you want to make tomato sauces, apple sauces, the Victoria strainer is the bomb. And I was going to bring mine and it's still on the shelf.
I love mine for applesauce.
Because I just chop my apples in quarters, put them in a pot, boil them till they're soft. I put them in my Victoria strainer. It takes all the cores, all the seeds, all the stems out.
Yeah,
Just like this.
Oh, just like this.
yeah.
Just like this. So you can just put it in, it takes your junk out the end, put your sauce out the front.
Does Bosch have a thing like that?
I don't know.
No.
I have a Bosch and
I've got an old school cone, what do they call it, the little cone one that's got a stand and you,
oh yeah.
I bought some of those. That
I
the
have
kids
one of
do.
those too, but I'll tell you,
This goes a lot faster.
But that goes a lot faster.
because the years I make applesauce, I usually do about 200 bottles. Because I make pancakes with it, I make cakes with it, so we use a lot of applesauce.
The trick I do with apples is I use a juicer and I put it in the top so then the juice comes down and then I can take that hot apple and I stick it in the little strainer.
That's a good
And all the
idea.
stuff just comes right
Yeah.
off of
'Cause
it,
you
and
can
then
use the
got
juice
to put it on.
and- That's good. Did you hear what she said? So if you have a steam juicer, they probably have one here too. If they had a Victoria strainer, I don't know. But it's in levels, so you put water in the bottom and it steams your fruit.
Yeah.
And then there's a catching tray that catches all your juice.
Yeah.
And, yep,
Oh,
Julie's, the same in the day.
And yeah, that one right there, they're amazing.
So you could do that. So she
They
steams
are
her apples.
amazing.
The juice comes out. The one thing you don't want to do with these is when you're watering the bottom, let's put it together so we can see. And you can find these used
Yeah.
because grandma passes away and has a nice one and no one knows what to do with it.
They don't even know what it is.
Yeah, and it's aluminum, but you don't want this tray in the bottom to run out of water. It will eat through it was so fast.
But you know what you do? You put a
Like
marble.
apples that aren't-
Put a couple of marbles in the bottom with the water, and you'll hear this as the
Oh.
water's running. But
I've
when
never
you
done
can
that.
hear it getting low, when the sound changes, you know it's time to put more water in. So I put marbles in the bottom to keep
That's
the
a really
water
good
dry.
idea because I always just peek. But
Yeah,
I always just fill it up.
yeah. Put a couple of marbles in there.
So,
But that's how you do it.
So finish saying
So
again,
you
and
just
after you.
quarter the apples, you leave the seeds and everything like that.
So you put them in here.
Just stick it in there and it steams them.
Yeah.
You got the apple juice in
And then
there.
it catches your apple juice here,
It catches the juice in there. Same with the grapes.
and you can drain them.
Comes out of the-
Okay.
And then I
You drain it out
can
here.
underneath the apple
So you have your juice.
And then I put it in the strainer.
I have one of those.
Yeah, those are amazing. I have one of those. I have
So
a stainless steel one.
I had a juicer, just pulled out for the first time.
And I used to like grapes.
these are really handy.
Great.
I do, yes.
I just have having aluminum, isn't the heating the aluminum just?
You can buy stainless steel ones. They're a lot more money.
Well, I have a stainless steel. They're a lot more money, but they're worth it.
But my fruit doesn't sit in it long enough. Like I don't let it sit. And so I guess I just don't worry about it as much because I don't have it sitting in there. It cooks down pretty fast. I do my choke cherries in that. I use one like this.
Yeah,
I actually have two of them because I do a lot of grape juice and stuff. But
But
Yeah.
what did Connie say, after she gets the juice, then you do what?
Oh, so then you don't put it through the strainer, well, it's really thick, and then you need to put some water, you need to put some juice back into it for your applesauce, otherwise it's just really thick.
so you use some of the apple juice.
So I put the water, yeah. I
She
put-
uses the pulp from the apples after they're cooked.
Does that make sense?
Okay.
So she
Yeah.
puts it through that
Juice is
machine.
first.
Yeah, so it doesn't.
And then
waste
if it needs more liquid,
I have the
Okay.
juice.
because sometimes when you make applesauce, it can be kind of runny. So that would actually be a really good way to,
Not, yeah.
Counteract
You
that.
have to decide how thick you want it,
Okay.
yeah.
Okay.
So.
or you can can it.
And I do
Yeah,
not
good
add
idea.
sugar to my applesauce. I'll tell you that you don't have to. Some apples are more tart, but if you pull it out and it's a little tart, then add sugar. I mean, because if you're making a cake, you don't need sugared applesauce either. So I just feel like that's a way for my family to cut sugar because it's safe without sugar, just so you know. If you're ever like, this applesauce tastes fine, I don't want to add sugar, don't add sugar. You don't need to. It's safe without it, just so you know. Okay, any other questions
Yeah, those are fun.
before
So is
anyone.
this, is this apple pie filling on the end?
This is
Is
peach,
that apples?
and I forgot my apple, cause it wasn't on the shelf, I was out on the shelf.
It's here on the end.
Oh, this is applesauce.
Okay, that's applesauce.
Yep, so this is applesauce, and I like mine thicker.
I had an apple pie filling that you can make, and you just open up the jar and put in the crust.
So it looks a lot like this. This is my peach.
Oh, okay.
So this is peach pie filling. It looks really weird in the bottle. And I forgot, I actually had a pile of pints that I forgot to bring with me. That I have a sweet and sour sauce, the recipe's in here. And in the bottle it looks a lot like this. But as soon as it warms up, it is heaven. It looks pretty, it tastes good. And
Wow.
it uses your produce from your garden.
And that's peach.
This is peach.
So it must be a white peach.
No, can you see the peaches?
Oh, okay.
That's the sauce.
The filling,
The filling,
thickener.
all the filling.
thickener, okay.
And it
I was gonna say, 'cause
separates.
they do have white peaches, but.
Mhm.
And
But they're not safe to can. White peaches,
I don't can.
Oh, really?
But they
you
do
have
a
to
white
add
peach.
lemon juice to white peaches,
Yeah.
just in case.
So that's pie filling?
This is peach pie filling. So it's the same recipe as the apple pie filling, but I don't put the cinnamon and nutmeg. My friend does, but I don't like it, so I just leave the cinnamon and nutmeg out, and
And so you can
you can just dump this right in the pie crust,
a crust.
and you don't have to drain that juice because
Well, you
it will
put
like,
cornstarch or something in it to thicken.
Well, it's
Or
in it.
tapioca.
so it's in it.
Yeah.
It's all in there. It just, in the bottle, it looks funky, but as soon as it warms up, it just kind of boils all together. So it looks really weird in the bottle, but it is
So
not
what's the
juicy like
white?
that.
The white,
It's cornstarch
okay.
and the stuff that you thicken pie with. It is not flour. You cannot can flour.
Yeah.
So you want to make sure you use cornstarch, or there's something called quick gel that you can use those two to thicken your
Looks really
stuff.
good.
You don't have that recipe in here.
I think it's an apple pie.
Oh, apple pie, okay.
It's the same recipe without cinnamon or nutmeg. But my friend uses the cinnamon and nutmeg and loves it. I just like my peaches to taste like peaches, so that's my preference. So, and then these are dilly beans. You do not have to pressure them. And so they're really fast.
Oh, I
You can do
love
that.
jelly beans.
You just throw them in.
I don't know what you just meant by that. What? Say that
So
again?
they're like a pickle in bean.
But they're pickled beans is what they
Pickled
are.
beans. They're called
Pickled
dilly
green beans and they're
Dilly?
really good.
That's what you said, dilly, okay.
I
I thought you said, it made me think of a dilly bar.
It,
Anyway,
it tastes like dill pickles,
It does. It's
Okay,
a
but
bean.
they're green beans.
we had friends in Minnesota that did that.
Oh, they're amazing.
Yeah. And so you can just pull them out and eat them. You do not have to pressure them.
They're
So
amazing.
it's the same
Because of the
recipe.
dill, is that why?
The vinegar.
The vinegar.
The
okay.
vinegar. So in here, it's the same dill pickle recipe. You just put over beans.
Oh, it's amazing.
So they're really good if you like stuff like that.
And they are crunchy.
Yeah, they are more crunchy than
They're
pickles.
crunchy.
I'm trying to think if I have any other questions anyone's thought of as I've rambled and jumped all over.
Excellent.
Very good.
That's the
So
way it's done.
yeah, so you don't have to have a bunch of fancy stuff unless you're pressure canning. You do need a pressure canner because you can do a stock pot. Make sure you have a rack in the bottom. My racks are still sitting on the counter. I realized when I got
I
here.
never had good luck with my double decker camper.
It
When you
doesn't.
say a rack on the bottom,
I'm
it
trying to
doesn't
show
have to be
you.
raised, does it? Isn't it flat on the bottom?
It can be flat on the bottom. You just do not want your bottles directly on the bottom because they will pop.
Yeah.
I saw a lady that put a towel in there.
You can do that. I wouldn't in your pressure canner.
I wouldn't.
Okay.
I would not in your pressure canner, but you can in your water bath.
Okay, that must have been what I saw.
I mean, there's probably people who do it. Let's be honest. There's rebel canners. They probably do it. I just wouldn't. Me
Well, I
personally.
didn't even like the idea.
I can't get the lid off.
Rebel canners scare
I
me.
cannot get the lid off this.
But I have a hard time
It's,
because
my mom has one, and it's not
none
that
of our
hard.
jars.
I have so much trouble getting them off.
Oh, go the other way.
But a lot of my jars don't still want to use my double
Okay,
decker.
I do have
It
that.
can be just like that.
Okay.
You just want something between, okay? And there's salsa and chips if you want any. But
Now, is that recipe in here, the red salsa? Okay, I only saw the green.
oh, did I miss it? If so, write your email down and I will. Oh, is this-
Oh, well, it says green tomato
There
salsa.
should be a salsa. Maybe I did, maybe I missed it.
The salsa?
Oh, man. The one thing I sampled and I didn't put it in there. Okay, give me your email though and I can send it to you. Cause I have it typed up.
That's the only reason I came. No,
Leave me your
only
email.
teasing, but,
Yeah.
but
But
kind of.
if you're gonna sample it, you want the recipe.
Yes.
That's why I sampled it. I thought it was in here. So sorry.
Write your email on here and we will email the recipe.
I can email it to you.
Green tomatoes.
And the green tomato
They
salsa
put
is right here.
recipes on the, they have been known to put recipes on the home, what do you, the side.